Thanks for all your shares. Um, yeah, I want control. I'm afraid of not having control. Um, yeah, telling the truth is interesting because I made up so many lies that I believed, like um, for instance, like in the AA program, they have this thing about self will versus the will of something, a power greater than yourself or whatever. And so I've kind of used that over the years of like, I'm not in charge of my life kind of thing. So I've told myself that, like, you're not in charge of your life. You, you don't get to determine outcomes. Um, and I think I use that to make myself feel better, not because I actually believed it to be true or wanted it to be true. And now I'm sitting here looking at that, and I really want to be in control. I don't feel safe when I'm not. And I really hate it. And so sitting in the discomfort of knowing that I don't have control and then wanting control is just like internal power struggle. And kind of like Simon was talking about, just like, I don't know, this in between two world thing is just dragging on, just dragging on. And I rarely get relief or moments of like, I don't know. So anyway, but I'm feeling better emotionally in terms of this breakup that I just had, and um, yeah, just really sitting with some hard truths,
Mm,
and really seeing clearly that everything I judge in other people is within me, like
mm,
everything,
I know.
everything.
Isn't it,
Uh,
it's
so
amazing, like
yeah,
yeah, I felt the same way. Like once it became much more clear here, I just did not care. Uh not in a not in a like, oh, I don't give a shit. Like the care just did not arise for hating on another in the same way. Like it just didn't trigger anymore. So it just dissolved.
yeah,
Yeah, it did become obvious, like it was all here, everything. It was
yeah.
never about the other, really.
It's never. I'm seeing that more and more clearly. I think like I have this delusion that like once I see something clearly, then I could just move on. Or once I feel an emotion like fully, then it's not going to come up again or something. And it's just like delusional. I'm just wanting it to be that way. But like over time, it's like, oh yeah, everything. Okay. And so it just like deepens.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. A
Like
lot
this,
of anger,
yeah.
a lot of
You
anger.
you realize a lot, like how the person lived before. It really came up with its own unconscious beliefs, like, oh yeah, I'm really working towards something. I'm working on myself and I'm literally changing myself. And the thing is, it can appear that way for a while because there is this manipulation and control, and that energy can seemingly um, create certain effects. But when it's really seen that, oh, okay, the central controller is a complete illusion, and yet the energetic patterns can still arise, but overall, it doesn't have the same power anymore. And then you really see like, shit, I never had control in the conditioning here. Um, because even so, for me, like I still see the conditioning that I saw clearly 10 years ago. it's still in effect.
Mm.
Um, there, in a way, there is a lightness to it. I don't care as much. Yeah, but it's so obvious. Like, did I ever have control to begin with?
Mhm. Well, clearly no.
Exactly.
But psychologically, I find myself like even when I'm talking right now, it's like I feel like a me. I feel like me when I'm sitting here talking, right? But the moment I stop, it's just like, yeah, like who's talking? Who's deciding to say these things or, move my body in a certain way? Like no, like there's not I'm not doing that, but it's just like the psychological trick that like I keep buying into, you know. But and it's kind of maddening. It's like, okay, like I get it, but obviously I don't get it. Like, you know, because it keeps coming up and I keep believing it. There's a belief in it.
Yeah. It's mainly energetic though. It's
Hmm.
the psychology seems to have more power just because of the the sense in the body.
Yeah. Well, to me, it feels really unsafe. Like the idea that there's nobody in control and there's never been anybody in control. And if I'm not in control and there's not a me to control anything, that means that's the same for everybody. And so, like, nobody's controlling this thing that we call life. And that just seems really chaotic and unsafe. Like, and it's always been that way. It's, this understanding doesn't like change anything. It's always been that way. And I really don't want it to be that way. I really want to be a self in control of shit. And I don't want to let that go. And that seems very uh, unsafe. It's very unsafe. And so much of my patterns are around safety. Like, I'm just this vulnerable creature that just wants to feel safe. And all of my behavior patterns are about that. How can I keep myself safe? It's really neurotic and like it's innocent, but like it's very like it's all about me all the time. How can I be safe? But like if there was like a movie to watch on like just an overt subconscious playing out of what's actually happening in people, it's insane.
It's
Like
insane.
so much of our time is like, how can I keep safe? How can I get my needs met? It's just very
I know. Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. Isn't it so obvious how exhausting it is?
And yet there's just this holding on to it.
Oh,
It's just like, oh, I don't want to let go.
yeah. This is horrible, but let's
Yeah.
do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I can't make myself. And you're right. Like when you were talking in the beginning about how, enlightenment or liberation or whatever, that seems to be the answer, to my problem. And like, there's a belief in that. I've tried everything else and nothing else has worked. And so this thing seems to be the thing. Not that it's a thing or not that I can even like take an action to get it or anything. There's nothing to get, but it still is like, yeah, this is the solution. This is it. And
Yeah.
really, if I'm honest, it's about feeling. Because the problem I think it's going to solve is like, oh, I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to feel restless. I don't have to feel like I'm seeking all the time something. And I don't have to feel these emotions of hatred and grief. And, so this idea is a rejection of feeling,
Mm.
you know.
It's an
That's
attempt
really,
to escape.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'm just like seeing it more and more clearly. And like this morning, I'm just like, oh, okay. I believe that. That's the truth. And pretending that I don't isn't going to help me
Mm.
because there's this thing in me that's like, plays the opposite of the truth of like, no, no, it's not going to get you anything. You know, it just, nobody's doing this anyway. It's just happening. And, but like, that's not actually my truth. My truth is that I believe it's going to get me something. And
Yeah.
then I have this other bullshit over here. It's like thoughts playing off thoughts and like making it seem like I don't know. It's insanity.
Yeah, I know. It keeps going back and forth as long as it does, even in the subtlest levels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, yeah, whenever you describe things, it's so spot on. It's always like you're seeing so clearly how insane seeking actually is. And every human body is like that, but they aren't aware of it. They just can't see it. But it's ironic that when this unfolding happens, you can't help but go through everything you've been trying to escape from. Unfortunately, you feel it and see it more full on than ever. And that's where you are. You're just seeing it so clearly,
Mm-hmm.
so obvious how insane it is. Um, you're actually able to verbalize it like really well.
I mean, that's helpful for me. Neurotic again. That's helpful for me, especially if there's like, not that I need your validation, but like your validation is actually comforting and helpful because like um it gives me some kind of illusory ground to stand on. Like, okay, this is like the way I feel, the insanity that I feel is like normal
Yeah,
in this context. Like it's okay
exactly.
to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And how you described about how unsafe you feel about the world right now, because you feel the insanity here so clearly, it's just obvious that it's everywhere.
Hmm.
That's a very normal response to have. Like, oh, fuck, I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Yeah,
That's how I felt too.
yeah. It feels very unsafe.
Yeah.
And this whole like thing that I've had this like whole delusion about like you can trust people.
I know. Yeah.
You can't trust people.
Yeah.
People aren't even people. People are just their safety mechanisms running, you know?
Yeah.
That's how do you trust that? Because that is subject to change at any point in time. I could say something or do something and something could snap in someone. They could do so. I
Yeah.
don't know anybody. I can't trust anybody. Not like in a like a pessimistic way or anything. It's like I have dear friends that are pretty consistent in their, it's like they're pretty reliable, but like I don't know. I think it's kind of delusional to even have this idea that you can trust, like even myself, like that's subject to change too.
I know. Isn't it crazy how
I mean, kind of contradicts everything you
yeah.
know, and just this kind of like internal angst about it, like, I can't trust you. And it's just like, they're innocent too. I just want to trust. I want something to rely on. I want something to be stable and safe. And it's just like, not. I want security.
I know.
And that's the truth. Like, I just really want something to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you want kind of like a safety ground, you know? I think that's really normal and understandable. Um, and I think it's that sense. of needing that is just going to be really obvious and amplified, especially when everything that you thought was real, solid, familiar, it's on shaky ground now. Everything's being questioned and everything's pretty much up in the air. So that sense of needing that safety is simultaneously going to be triggered, and yet you're going to see like, oh my God, how the hell can you trust anything when nothing's solid and real? It's also ephemeral,
Mhm.
ever changing. Um, but I would say comfort that sense that wants that safety and longs for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It just feels really small and vulnerable, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
No.
And there's only one thing that I can rely on. And I'm gripping in the opposite direction, you know? It's like lately I haven't even want to sit in silence. And that's like I don't even know how to say it, but the thing that I am, whatever I am, is in the silence. That's the thing I can count on. And that's the thing that I'm like, mm-mm. It seems really insane.
Mm. That's beautiful. Yeah. I think I felt the same way because I just felt antsiness all the time, like
Mhm.
agitation, restlessness. And you're right that the only thing you can remotely trust is this silence that is always here and ever present.
Mhm.
But yeah, the most uncomfortable thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems really scary, like I'm going to be swallowed up.
Yeah.
So I've been avoiding it. Yeah.
I think
And
this time is where I binge watched a lot of Netflix and just tried to avoid as much as I could.
yeah, I was sick this whole week, and like that's what I did. I had a lot of like energy moving and stuff. Um, and I just binge watched TV, and the whole time just knowing that like this isn't gonna, you're still gonna feel antsy. You're still gonna be uncomfortable. This isn't doing anything for you. The silence is still there. Rest is still there, just right over there. Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah,
And I'm scared of the truth.
yeah, that's understandable.
I pretend like I'm not, but I am.
Well, who isn't?
Yeah.
It's the last thing that's wanted. It's ironic because there can be a deep longing for it, but the sense that longs for it, once it really sees more clearly, like you are, like where this is really leading, it's the most threatening thing ever.
Yeah. That's how it feels. Okay, I'm done.
You
Thanks,
wanna
Suzanne. Uh-huh.
wanna feel into the body right now,
Oh,
or not really?
Uh, let's see. Yeah, there's like a coldness in my belly.
You said coldness?
Feels like an ice cube in my muscles or something. Yeah, it's fear. And there's a burning in my chest. Yeah, it's just a bunch of fear. It's like I don't want to let go. That's what it would say. It's a
It
bummer.
is. Yeah. Just so it knows that it is actually completely safe. It just might feel like the worst thing because it's just not familiar, but it is completely safe.
It would say, that's easy for you to say, Suzanne. But no, I'm grateful for that reminder. A part of me is grateful for it. Another part of me is like,
So it might feel like fear. There's just fear. So that already is this. It's so full. It's so palpably full. There is no edge to it. Like that sensation, that is just pure, boundless energy. It is this. So it's already not separate from it. It doesn't need to go.
oh. Just it just pretends to have a boundary. Like it's kind of sticks out, takes all my attention, but it's just a part of it.
So the stories and the interpretation, the meaning around it, it artificially creates an energetic boundary. But all of that is not real. All of that is imagination. So really all there is what has always been. It's just boundlessness. And there's nothing that you can't handle. There's nothing that's too scary. This may sometimes challenge the mind, but when it sees over and over, actually, this isn't going to kill me. That's how the mind stops living on top of the fear because it sees for itself, actually. oh, there was nothing to be afraid of. You can handle anything.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Lily.